Well, hey, hey, everybody. Hey, hey, hey. I hope that you all are doing well and that you have had an amazing Tuesday so far. Welcome to Tuesday Leadership Tips with Lita. I'm excited and happy to get into today's discussion. I hope that you all are as well. It's a great day today, a great day to make an impact, a great day to bring value to the leadership space. So let's go. Come on in, y'all. When you come in, once you get on, whether you're on YouTube, IG, or TikTok, come on in and let me know how y'all are doing. If you're doing well, give me a thumbs up in the chat. If not, say I'm working on it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with working on things. We are all working on something, and it's always a positive thing when we're working on it and not wallowing in it. All right, so y'all come on in. See if YouTube, okay, we're ready to go here. So listen, today's leadership tip is this. Not only are we managing the weight of more, but I think it's important that we make sure that we're leading well while we're under the pressure when more demands more of you. And it will. It will. So when more begins to demand more of you, you're gonna need to know how to lead under that pressure. So again, last week we focused on managing the weight of more. That we talked about managing or identifying the pressure. We talked about the expectations, the responsibilities, and we talked about the internal stretching that expansion brings. And no matter what area you're working on right now, if you're expanding, there's some weight there. And if you have weight, it's important that you know how to lead under the pressure of more when more demands more of you. So let's shift into this next level evolution, if you will, a bit. Let's shift a little bit. Let's talk about how to maintain stability, how to maintain clarity, and to have that emotional balance while we're carrying more. I mean, if you think about it, if we think about it in a natural sense, let's think about a woman who is pregnant, carrying an unborn child. Each month, there is a difference in the child that she's carrying, but there's also weight on the mother that may need attending to, especially if she's having pressure. Y'all give me just a moment because I need to put my phone. Okay, I needed to put my phone on do not disturb because all types of stuff was coming in. And all right, I think we're ready now. I put everything on do not disturb, so all these messages would stop coming in. So it's important that we maintain that stability, that clarity, and even that emotional balance. As I was saying, that a pregnant woman is going through all types of emotional things that, you know, whether real or just perceived in her own mind. It's important to have that emotional balance. And I know that from bearing my own child that you need that emotional balance when you're carrying more. And so it is as leaders, as you begin to carry more, and actually handle the demand that more puts on you, because it demands more. And this is the thing, right? The next level doesn't just add weight, it tests your emotional maturity, your decision making, your emotional maturity, your boundaries. It tests those boundaries now, and your capacity to stay centered when life pulls you in every direction. And sometimes that does happen. You have a whole lot of things going on simultaneously, and it feels like you're being pulled in every direction. But it's important that you're able to handle that demand of more on you. And so what I want to do today, and this is my goal, is to equip us not just to carry more, but to lead well under the pressure of more. Everyone wants more. Everyone wants more until they realize more doesn't ask who you want to be. It tests who you actually are. And when it begins to test who you actually are, that more requires maturity. More requires mastery. And more requires you at a higher level. And it doesn't mean that we're perfect or that we're going to be perfectly aligned with everything on the next level. It doesn't mean that we do everything perfectly. I really want to be very clear today. I'm not telling you you have to be perfect for a higher level. Um, I do want to ask you this though. What part of carrying more has challenged you the most? Is it your emotions? Is it your focus? Is it your boundaries? If I'm being honest and transparent, I would say that the most challenging thing for me in carrying more in the past has been focus. And focus is important when you are trying to get to a certain uh, place or vision or achieve a specific goal. It's important that you don't get off track. And it's equally important for your emotions not to go haywire. Also equally important that you maintain those boundaries. We talked about those last week. So, another quick question for you. Has the pressure made you feel stretched, sharper, or both? Has the pressure made you feel stretched, sharper, or both? If you have an answer, and I know sometimes you have to think about it, you got to go through, just really a thought process to figure out whether you feel stretched, whether you feel sharper, or whether you feel both. But drop it in the chat. When as you have embarked on and started doing more, has it made you feel stretched, sharper, or both? For me, it's definitely been a little of both. Felt a little stretched on one hand and feeling a little sharper on the other hand. And the reason I'm asking you that is because the pressure tests you on the next level. It tests you. More responsibility equals more visibility. More visibility equals more scrutiny. More scrutiny equals more emotional triggers if you have them. Most of us do. More demands equals more leadership alignment. Growth doesn't just elevate us, y'all. It exposes, the truth is, it exposes what needs strengthening. So even as you're being elevated or expand it with more. It's going to expose what needs strength, what needs to be strengthened. And this is what I want to encourage you with. Pressure doesn't break us leaders. It doesn't break us. It reveals parts of our leadership that still needs development. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing, because who wants to walk through life and have areas that need improvement or need development and not know it? I believe that we all want to have certain areas covered when it comes to our leadership. We want to be better. We want to have sharper knowledge in certain areas. We want to be equipped on this next level or in this expansion that we are walking into. We want to be able to sit back and say, you know what? I needed a little development in that area. Sometimes that could mean getting someone who understands that particular area better to help. Sometimes that could mean just you doing some self development so that you are equipped to do whatever needs to be done if that's something that you should be doing. And it's important, y'all, that as you are moving forward, as you are handling the demand that more puts on you, that you don't ignore the blind spots. Don't ignore them because you don't see them, but get feedback from your teams so that they can help you see what you can't see yourselves. So I want to give you three maturity markers for those you leaders who are under pressure right now. Three maturity markers. And if you know someone who needs this, please share this with them. But the first marker is dealing in the area of your emotional stability, responding, not reacting. Because it's like this: the more you carry, the more intentional you must be with your reactions. I don't know about you, but I've seen it where leaders, the more they carried, the more emotionally out of control they became. But all they needed to do was ask for help from the team so that they can manage the weight. Leaders lose momentum when they let pressure dictate their emotions. Your emotional maturity turns into your ability to stay anchored in truth and not triggered by the tension. So it's important that you ensure that that emotional stability is intact, y'all. No more faking it till you make it. None of that. Because listen, if pressure controls your emotions, pressure will control your outcomes. So reel in that emotional stability. Get it together. Sometimes if you got to step away, you got to take a moment, you got to take a pause. I talked about that earlier this year. The power of the pause. If you got to pause, pause. Then come back so that you're emotionally stable, especially in the front of the people you are leading. It is so important that you don't lose it in front of everybody. I need y'all to understand that as you lose it, what you do is you create a standard for the people that see you. It's okay to lose it. Are we all perfect? Do we get everything right all the time? Of course not. But that emotional stability, as you are under pressure from the demand of more, You gotta reel that in. You gotta reel that in. The second maturity marker is your decision clarity, choosing from vision, not from urgency. Sometimes people move every time there's an emergency or every time they feel like something is urgent. It's important that you stick to the vision. If you have to pivot the route or pivot with the system or pivot with how you get from point A to point B, cool. But when you are going towards the vision, make sure that you have decision clarity, that you choose from what still moves you toward the vision and not towards the urgency. When we feel overwhelmed, sometimes we can start making decisions in survival mode. And I'm trying to tell you, stay away from making decisions in survival mode. More demands sharper decision filters, not faster decisions. Don't rush to make a decision just because you feel like things are going in a direction you don't want it to go. Make sure you have sharp decision filters. And if that means you got a person who assists you, you have someone as a sounding board that you can speak to about it and they can bring some clarity or bring some calm to what you're doing, use the decision filters, not faster decisions. Because sometimes faster only gets you faster to wrong. Pressure, ladies and gentlemen, isn't a cue to panic. Remember, pressure's not going to destroy us. But if you let pressure control you, then you're going to perhaps, not saying that this is absolute, but perhaps make decisions based on whatever panic mode you're in. But this is the thing pressure should do, it's a cue to pause, it's a cue to assess, it is a cue to choose clarity. Choose clarity over moving quickly. Every yes costs you something, y'all. Know what you're paying. You're going to have to know what you're paying because every yes is going to cost you something. That's why you need to make sure that when you feel pressure, remember it's a cue to pause. It's a cue to assess the situation, assess what's going on. And it is a cue to find that clarity that you need and choose with clarity. The third, the third maturity marker is this: capacity protection. I talked a little bit about this last week about guarding your energy and guarding your boundaries. You have to make sure, especially when you're under pressure, that you don't start letting everything take your energy, that you don't start letting anything cross boundaries. Increased influence requires increased boundaries, not less boundaries. You must protect the mental, emotional, and physical capacity needed to sustain your next level. You got to protect it. Pressure doesn't mean just let it all go. No, please don't do that. Protect it. Protect that mental, emotional, and physical capacity that you, number one, need on the next level. But you also want to make sure that you don't drop, the areas that you have solid boundaries in. You got to keep those up. Because what will happen is, as leaders, we'll start falling apart when we try to carry everything instead of managing what matters. So, as you are continuing with that capacity protection, guarding your energy, guarding your boundaries, capacity isn't just what you can hold, it's what you refuse to carry anymore. What am I saying? If something gets mixed up, messed up, for example, in your process or in your systems or in your business or whatever you're doing, that is not cue to go back and start picking up stuff that you've already delegated, or stuff that you have already found that can be done another way without your hands in it. Your capacity is not just what you can hold, it's what you refuse to carry anymore. So, those are your three maturity markers, leaders. Emotional stability, remember, responding, not reacting. Decision clarity, choosing the vision, not the urgency. And then your capacity protection, guarding that energy and guarding those boundaries. So let me ask you this question before we get ready to close out today. The question is, what's one area you need to strengthen to lead better under pressure? Is it your emotions, your decisions, or your boundaries? The same question I posed to you earlier. What's one area you need to strengthen? If you struggle with that area the most, that's the area you need to strengthen the most. So I want to leave you all with this closing thought. You asked for more, right? You asked for more. Now you're carrying more. Now it's time to lead at the level that matches the weight of your life, the weight on your life. And that's the more. So don't let pressure pull you out of purpose. Master yourself. Master yourself, and you'll master the season you're in. If you master yourself, you will master the season you're in. All right, y'all. So that concludes our time together today. Tuesday Leadership Tips with Lita on Tuesdays. We shoot for 4 p.m. Sometimes it may be a little later, sometimes it may be a little earlier, depending on my schedule. But listen to me, y'all. You got to know how to hold, how to lead under the pressure when the more demands more of you. All right, y'all. Until next time. And like I always say, if you know a leader that needs this conversation, please share this with them. You can share it on my IG platform. I'll post the entire video. Sometimes I post clips of the live on TikTok, and you can also grab it from YouTube. All right, y'all. It's been amazing, and I look forward to the next time. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.